Do you love the survival shows but not the drama? Do you ever wonder if the skills they show are for real? Come with Justin Wolf and Larry Roberts as they show what it takes to really do what they show on TV. Watch them as they act out different scenarios and show you the common mistakes most people make when faced with the tough choices you can be faced with when all does not go as planned in the wild.
So oftentimes in popular reality TV shows, we always see the individuals dropped off in a remote location, and oftentimes they don't have means to start a fire, and they have to rely on primitive methods, say like a bow drill fire. Well, the thing is most of these shows, the individual has some sort of cutting tool, which really helps them a lot. They're not always successful because everybody that's ever done a bow drill fire knows that they're quite difficult, even with great cutting tools and great woods like this. But a lot of times people want to see them in a more primitive fashion. They want to see the sets being made with nothing but rock and stone. So I think that is what we're going to do today. Larry and I have talked about it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to go out into the woods and we're going to try to make a bow drill set using only rocks. Now we're going to use maybe our shoestrings or something along them lines unless we find a really good cordage material, which if you've ever made primitive cordage, it's hard, number one, and it's a long process. So, what in the world? Dude,
Hey,
what are you doing here?
need some help with some bow drill making out here?
Look at this guy, right here. Look
How's
at
it going?
this. So, you guys know Larry, yeah. How cool is this? We get to do a Clothed and Confident episode together.
Right on.
Because in those shows, when they tackle these things, they always have a partner. We need partners too. So what do you think?
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
Let's do this.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
Let's do it.
All right.
Alright, well obviously we have our knives.
Yep.
But obviously we're not gonna use them.
No.
So let's try to figure out what our game plan is. Because I'll be honest with you, you know where I live, I don't have rocks. I'm
Right.
not really accustomed to using rocks a lot. I've done this only one time before,
Okay.
and the way that I did it, the only way that I was successful at it, is I really didn't use the rocks too much. I found natural splits for my hearth board,
Okay.
and then is what I used for a spindle was a piece of horseweed, what we call horseweed. I don't know what the common proper name is,
Okay.
but it's a real woody plant. A lot of people use it for hand drill, but it's strong enough to hold up for a bow drill. I haven't seen anything like that around here.
I haven't seen anything like that around here either. I've done it a couple of times, but what I've used as far as the rock goes for my spindle is a lot of grinding rather than a lot of cutting, because I
Okay.
don't have flint in my area. I don't
Okay.
have obsidian in my area. I've got some rocks that will work with flint and steel, but nothing that makes a good cutting tool.
Okay.
I mentioned in my video, this flipping place is littered with flint.
Oh, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. So,
And I'm sure you noticed the limestone too.
yep, yeah, I see a nice grinding rock right there, or, whatever. But I mean, I think that, like you said, I've got mullein in my area,
Mhm.
but I didn't see anything like that here.
I've seen no mullein.
I think, the best bet is to try to maybe have a spindle almost already made and see what we can do with
So-
experimenting and splitting down. I see something right there. I don't know what kind of wood that is, but there is that dead leaning thing. I mean, it's a big hearth board and stuff, but you got a split in it already. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what. I mean, we're just gonna have to kind of look around and find something that's got a split in it, or work like crazy to try to split down a piece of wood.
I'll tell you the thing that I've noticed so far is I'm only 5 hours away from home right now, but this is like night and day from what I'm used to. I mean, these woods are completely 100% different.
and they're way different than my woods. I've made no secret of it. I'm not very good at tree identification. I know there's a ton of cedar here. I can see it. I think what I'm seeing is some ash. I think some of these woods are some ash, or I don't know if it's ash or if it's alder or what it is. There's a couple of them that I can kind of see, but my go-to wood is not here. There's no aspen here. So I'm basically seeing cedar and nothing else that I know of.
Exactly, because I'm not seeing, mine is cottonwood or willow, and I'm seeing none of that except for the cedar. There's a lot of cedar, and it's a different type of cedar than what we have back home too.
Okay.
The cedar that I have back home is smaller, and it has a lot of, you know, it forks out all over the place, where this stuff seems like it's going to be a little bit easier to use for bow drill.
Yeah,
but I've never used this particular type.
I've never used cedar except for, you know, a store-bought board before. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay, so how do you want to break it down? Do we want to look for, you know, some cutting tools first, hand sockets maybe, or do we want to try to, I mean, what kind of task do we want to break it up?
I think that we could split it up a little bit, and I think, but still be on the lookout for the other person's items.
Absolutely.
I think if you want to find a couple of good cutting tools and try to find a bow drill socket,
okay,
I will try to find a bow drill socket as well, or, you know, just kind of keep an eye out for it.
okay,
And I will try to find for sure a spindle.
okay,
Try to get a spindle going, because, you know, some of these are dead, but they're varying degrees of dead.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We need a bone dry set, and my understanding, it's been raining like crazy here. So anyway, if maybe I'll start working on the set a little bit, if you want to start working on the cutting tools in the socket.
I'll do it.
Alright.
I'll keep my eyes open for the other stuff too.
Yep.
Alright.
Alright, sounds
Let's
good.
make it happen, man.
And as we're doing that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to stuff our pockets full of tinder, because like I said, this stuff has been wet,
Yep.
and if we get this stuff drying in our pockets right now, if we do get an ember, it's gonna make it all that much easier.
And I seen the perfect tree over there. I
Right
mean,
on.
there's tinder just dry as a bone falling off.
Oh, sweet.
I'll nab it.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good, man.
Cool. I'm almost certain that Larry's gonna find some tinder as well, but I can't pass this up. I mean, this tree is just dropping it like crazy, and it's decently dry. So as I find this stuff, I'm going to bring it with me. I'm not going to take all of it off this tree. I'm going to space it out, of course, because just right over here is another cedar that's got plenty of it as well. Holy smokes, this one is absolutely insane. I wish the cedar I had back home was this type of cedar, because unfortunately everybody has this impression that cedar, that they're all the same, and they're not. This particular type of cedar grows a lot taller than the cedar I have at home, and there's not as many forks in it. So it makes collecting this tinder so much easier. Very nice. It's just everywhere. What'd you find, man?
Well, I found a little tiny sapling cedar, and what I'm trying to look for here is just a couple of spindles, something that we don't have to process down too heavily, and something that's not so dead that it's got a ton of these little cracks running through it. I'm hoping we can get a spindle just on this side of this knot or branch, and it gets a little wampus up here, but still, you know, even if we had a short spindle. And then what I'm hoping too, this is a little thinner diameter than what I like, and it does have a couple of little cracks in it, but still, this is an option. I'm just going to keep looking for more, but maybe a couple of spindles out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we can make a go at it for sure.
Yeah,
we'll throw it aside, and
yeah, I think so.
Like you said, as you're walking, if you see something better, we'll grab it.
Yep.
Check this out. These cedars are just shedding. Look at this.
Right on.
That was 20 seconds of gathering material.
And these cedars are like
all
my
over.
Birches.
All over
they're
the place.
just shed the bark, you know.
And it's pretty relatively dry.
Yeah.
This particular one anyway.
Jeez.
So we're good on tinder.
Yeah, I would say, for sure.
So I was looking at this cedar right here. You see all them straight pieces? I was thinking about trying to utilize that as a spindle. And as soon as I started getting ready to break one off, I looked up and look at that big widowmaker just hanging there. That thing is enormous. If that thing came down on me, I would be in a world of hurt. So what we've got going on right here, I'm gonna leave alone. So we've mentioned that this area is littered with cherts. I mean, basically every rock that you walk on has properties in it that would throw sparks on a good carbon steel very easy. The problem that I'm noticing is most of this stuff is not great for flint knapping at all. You know, there's a lot of fractures in it, so basically when it fractures off, you know, it's fracturing in little bitty pieces and not really working out very well, but you can see that it's all got great properties for flint and steel. Another thing that you have to be aware of around here is most of you guys that have been following me for a long time know that I'm a huge exotic reptile enthusiast. I've been studying exotic reptiles pretty much my entire life. And this is the perfect area to find venomous snakes. So everywhere I'm walking and every rock that I move, you have to be aware of venomous snakes. You know, before you step over something that there's a blind spot on the other side, slow down, take a closer look. When you move a rock, moving large rocks like this is not needed for what I'm doing now. But if I needed to move this rock, I would not grab the rock on the underside. I'd grab it up here high and move it out of the way and see if there's anything underneath it. Now look what we got down there. See that little skink? That right there is, it looks like a juvenile Great Plains skink. Let me grab him right quick. Okay, so now I got this little guy relatively gentle because they will drop their tails, and the last thing I want to do is make this little guy drop his tail. He may need that if a predator has a go at him. But very good looking skink. We're just going to let this guy go. Go on, little buddy. Okay, back on task. But had that been a venomous snake, my hands would have been free and clear of that area. I could have just gently put the rock back and got out of the area, plain and simple. There's a creek that's leading out to the lake, and basically I come down here to try to find a handhold or something. I'm looking for a rock that possibly will have a divot in it. The challenging part is going to find one that is not super abrasive, that isn't going to want to chew up our spindle really severe. Of course, with all the limestone and everything else, we can the flint and everything, we can kind of smooth it out and make it a little bit less abrasive. So right now, it's a challenge trying to find a good piece for sure. I'm also going to keep my eyes open for anything that washes ashore, but at the same time, the challenge isn't about finding trash. The challenge is to try to make this happen with natural materials, so I better just stay on task. See if only that divot was a little further in and a little bit deeper, that'd be pretty good, but it's not. Now this piece of sandstone right here, we could really use to really scrape, to really kind of give our spindle shape, but it's pretty big. I'm a good 50-60 yards away from where Larry is right now and our rendezvous spot, so I don't know that I want to really lug this one. I'm going to keep my eyes open for a smaller piece, but those are the properties that I'm looking at. And here we've got a lizard. Make sure that there's no other snakes underneath it before I try to get this guy. He looks like a collared lizard, but I don't see his collar. But he's definitely the same species of a collared lizard for sure. But I love these guys. It's a little cool today, so that's why they're slow right now. All the reptiles are slow because right now it's only about 45 degrees. We've had a cold snap. So they're slowing down a little bit, trying to stay hunkered down, trying to stay warm. So I can grab them relatively fast. If it was 100 degrees out here, I lift up that rock, this guy's gonna shoot out like a bolt of lightning, and it'd be very difficult for me to find or catch him. So, but since it's cold, he was easy to snatch up. Okay, found this guy right here. Now this is also a piece of sandstone, so this is gonna be kind of abrasive, but I'm thinking if maybe I take a piece of chert, I can try to clean this out a little bit and also smooth it over, and we can attempt to make that a decent bearing block. I'm gonna keep looking, maybe I'll get lucky and find a better piece, but right now this is definitely the best one I found.
Smoothing it down.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
Yep.
At least a pretty decent go. I think we can make it work.
I think so too. Just because it's going to take time. This isn't no easy task.
Oh no, there ain't nothing easy about what we're doing.
And even if it is easy, even if you get a coal on your first try or whatever, it's time consuming.
Okay, so I found a couple things. What I found here is this piece right here will make a decent wedge if we have to split anything, and hopefully it doesn't fracture apart. Like I was telling you guys earlier, all this chert in this area, it's not for napping. It's more because there's a lot of fractures in it. This particular piece, there's not a lot of fractures. In fact, I only see a couple. So I think that this piece will work really nice for a good wedge. The other thing that I found is a nice abrasive stone. This piece of sandstone here. It's small, but very abrasive, so we can really work on those spindles and everything. And then you guys seen the bearing block that I found. So we're finding tools. Now it's just a matter of, can we make them work? We're gonna try. You know, back home, I would gather up a lot of punkwood from right inside there, and I would have no problem reaching down in there. Where I'm at here, again, with the venomous reptiles, or excuse me, venomous snakes in this area, I would never stick my hand down in there blindly. So definitely keep these things in mind if you live in an area where you have venomous snakes. All right, look at what we got here. This, we could possibly use this little split right here for a hearth board. It's pretty thin, and we would burn through it relatively fast. But finding something like this that's naturally already split is going to be good. Problem is, it's very red, and on cedar, when it comes to red, those resins and everything, oh man, they're kind of a pain. You got to apply a lot of downward pressure. So this is not going to be a great piece, but it's definitely a piece that is worth a try because I didn't have to do hardly any work. So you've seen me kind of scraping on this. The only problem is this is a little bit more round. Well, that good piece that I found that that would make a good wedge is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of chert and I'm actually going to serrate this edge a little bit and try to make it to where it will saw through that spindle. And just simply by doing that, I don't know if you can see, but now that's actually serrated. So it should chew through this a lot better. Let's see here. Yeah, that's really cutting through there now. Okay, I've got that score all the way around. Now it's one of those things, did I score it deep enough? I don't know until I do this. That was a good clean break. So now I'm going to use my abrasive stone and really work on that. But before I do that, I've got to cut my other half of my spindle. Now for me, I like a spindle at least from my wrist to the fold of my elbow. That's about how deep I like my spindle, or how long I like my spindle. Okay, so here's my other side. Again, nice clean break. Now let's shape it up a little bit. Sitting here working on a spindle, and we thought we had a hearth board already figured out what we were going to use, but then Larry had this really great idea. He brought me this piece right here, and at first I thought, yeah, that's going to be a pretty nice hearth board, but then he pointed this out. Look, you can take advantage of that as your notch. You guys see that? So that's exactly what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to chip that back just a little bit. And we're going to try to make one solid go. No burn in, no trying to notch it out, just one good solid go. And I think that's got real potential. As red as that is, we're going to have to put some downward pressure on that bad boy though.
Okay.
But good
Awesome.
good find, man. I never even would have thought of that. It's a good idea. Okay, so I've been working on this, and you can see I've got my blunt in pretty good. Hey Larry, you got that bearing block? I want to see how... Oh, you got that cleaned out good too.
Yeah.
Look at that. You seen what it looked like earlier. Larry cleaned on it a little bit. That looks good. And it's almost... I'm not going to have to do a whole lot to this. I'm just going to have to smooth it out a little bit. I like it. It's coming together. would you hand me that spindle real quick? This spindle's going to want to slide in and out. That's all there is to it. I think we're just going to have to go slow in the very beginning. And then once we establish it, I think it will stay in there.
Okay.
But I just don't want to go much deeper than that because it's...
You can put your foot up against it maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a slick spindle. Put some, when you first start, put some shirt dust in there. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see how that red is already glossing over just by doing that?
Yep.
That's why I was talking about that freaking downward pressure. A lot of people love cedar for bow drills. I don't.
I've never used it really. Like I said, just a store-bought wood. But I do know that aspen will do that same stuff to you.
Really?
As soon as you put that crap in there, and you, like you said, you get some good freaking downward pressure and force your way through it. It'll work pretty good.
All right. Well, there ain't nothing left to do but try it. I don't think, Larry.
Yeah, let's get.
We still need to find a bow.
Yeah, I guess we could use that. And then we need a location and then some chert dust.
Yeah.
Which isn't a big deal.
Yeah,
but,
we can get that all day long.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
So we need a bow, huh?
Yep. Obviously, that's why they call it sandstone. All right, Larry, go ahead and explain what your idea is down here.
All right, well, it's been raining from what we understand in this area. You can definitely tell the ground is wet and everything. So what I did is I just grabbed kind of some rough cedar bark that seems to be peeling off these trees like crazy. And I used that to insulate our hearthboard from the wet ground. That one, stick, branch or whatever, is gonna kind of give me some stability in the ground there. And if I'm able to put my foot right here, and then I've got a welcome mat right here, and we've got our socket there. So we're insulated from the ground. We've got a good anchor point on the right hand side here. I'm left-handed. If I were going to do this, I would put my foot right there, and I'm totally over the top of my set right now.
Yeah.
And I'd be able to saw her back and forth.
So do we want to try to bow this as a team effort, or does one person want to bow, one person operate bearing block, or one person do all of it? I mean, what do you think? I mean, we're here as a team. We might as well try it as a team.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that if one person does the bearing block and one person does the bow, I think we could try that.
Okay. Yep. I don't know, man. She's pretty used, but there you go.
All right.
Give that a shot.
Do our little jam knot here. I seem to like that one lately. It's got a lot of stretch to it.
Does it?
Yep.
It's gonna want to slip big time, I think. So that's what I'm left with. I would really like this more pointy. But I think no matter what I do, I'm going to have to be back down here and do it again. I'm going to try it with this. I'll get Larry's opinion and see if he's comfortable with attempting it like this. Then we'll do it. But we are a team, so if he feels that we need to go, you know, get more of a point on there, which I can't disagree, then I'll come down here and do some more. What you working on, Larry?
I'm trying to do this bearing block thing here. It's a piece of elm, and I made it long because I think that I was helping a little bit by stabilizing the hearth board. And the problem is if I had my saw, I'd come down here and I'd cut you a freaking bearing block right there, and I'd split it down the middle and you'd be good to go.
Exactly.
But with not using any materials, or no knife, no cutting tools other than these flint shards, it's a pain to process something down like this. And I could use cedar, but we got cedar for the hearth board, cedar for the bearing block. You're going to get friction between the one that you don't want the friction on, has been my experience. So I've got a little bit harder wood, a little different wood. Hopefully we can get this divot out a little bit. I can help support it on the other end because it's quite large, quite long. I'm going to give you a little divot right there, and then I think if we we'll see how it goes. And then if we get smoke and stuff, then we'll worry about maybe putting some vegetation in between it or something.
Okay.
It's my thoughts anyway.
We've both looked for a mucusy plant. I have not found anything.
No, I haven't either. I've actually found real good luck with, I've never really had good luck with putting green vegetation in the bearing block. What happens for me is the darn green thing always falls right in my dust.
Yeah.
I mean, it always does it. But I experimented back home, and I took my knife and I just scraped some willow bark, and willow bark is stringy and holds itself together. Plus, in my area, we're just barely getting into spring. I mean, it's crazy. You guys are, down here, there's leaves on the trees and everything. But the sap is running on all my plants. So it gives it a natural, sappy, mucusy, stringy, holds together type deal. That willow bark actually worked quite well.
I never even thought about using that bark. I'll be honest with you, I have, but I don't use any type of greenery in my bearing blocks most of the time. Well, my bearing block is a freaking deer antler. That's my bearing block of choice.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's frictionless.
Yep.
So.
But you always get that person that's, the purists, man. They're always like, well, you got to use a wooden bearing block, otherwise you didn't really do it.
No, hell if I did. I'm pretty sure the deer are born and raised out here.
Yeah, I know. I agree too.
But I hear what you're saying.
There, you let me know if I need to add pressure.
Okay. String broke.
Did it really? Yep. All right. Okay.
Okay, so that's actually important for people to see that.
Yep.
We've barely even started, and that string's gone. Now it's just the outer shell, but we both know that we keep bowing, that's all gonna go.
Yeah.
And at that point, everything that we've worked for might be lost because of a broken string.
Yep.
Now imagine doing this with natural cordage.
I have done it, not successfully. It's a pain. Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of a little concerned about if we do get dust, it ain't gonna have nowhere to go. I guess it could collect here like a keyhole. Alright, we're going to change gears and we're going to try something a little bit differently. Basically, is what we had noticed is that divot is not quite where we want it as far as dropping dust comfortably. So I don't think we're going to get a good dust pile. I think it's going to want to go all the way around the hearthboard versus dropping in there. So it's one of those, you chew further down into your notch, which is going to take forever with a piece of chert or flint. You know, that's just all there is to it. But Larry had started a different spindle earlier on, and this was the original one we were going to go with. It's a little bit wider, it's got more of a girth to it, and when this one settles in, it should drop dust exactly where we want it. So that's what we're going to try next.
I think this is hour number 5.
I think you're right. Hour number 5.
Yeah.
With 2 people doing it.
Yep. With flint all over the place.
Okay. Better angle that a little bit. Holy shit. Tighten it.
You let me know if I need to put pressure on it or anything.
Okay.
I like the sound. Dust on them welcome mat?
No, we're losing dust everywhere.
Okay.
And since we made this bow for 2 people,
It's too big?
it's too big. It's too...
Okay.
Shit. The bed.
It's close. I think you could do it. We just need a new bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. How big do you want it? I mean, I can...
Let's just,
You want to try to get a different one?
yeah, absolutely. Or shorten that one.
Well, that's
It's
what I was
whatever.
wondering. I didn't know
If you see a forked tree, we can try to, yeah, there's a little forked tree right there. We can try to snap it if you want. I don't know if that little tree is big enough to snap it, but...
Well, then the problem becomes, yeah, you'll have to snap it down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was bowing, if you need me to help do anything, just tell me.
Okay.
See what I'm talking about?
Well, it's the string here. I might try to get it in a different spot, get it up higher. Or lower, actually. There, just like that.
What the hell's that noise?
I don't know.
Do you guys know what you're doing here?
Apparently not.
You guys need a lighter?
And a knife. You got
And
a
a
lighter
knife?
and a knife?
Oh yeah. Come on, I even got a pocket knife right here.
Oh, man.
Would this make it easier?
Yeah.
Thanks,
In
man.
case you guys can't see on camera, Mr. Travis Henry Survive Without has decided to show up and hopefully save the day.
I hope so.
Travis, show us.
That's how we do it right there.
Oh,
Nice.
that's great.
Oh,
All right, so what do you think is going wrong here, besides everything?
I think there's multiple things going wrong. I think that doing this.
Do you like your spindle on the inside?
No, but I was trying to get it. I just screwed up when I did it. No, I like it on the outside. I'm not sure what's making this not spin. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. It's an effort and futility, if you ask me. If you look, the socket it's not perfectly round, and I think what's going on is we've got this punky spindle, and only the center is good, so you're shouldering out on this punkiness, and it's no knife.
It's no knife.
Doesn't always work. That's all I gotta say.
Well, Travis, if you was to conquer this challenge, what adjustments
Step
do you
out of your
think
way so I can.
you would make?
Well, the first thing I think personally is that this notch right here is not in far enough.
Right, and that's why we decided to try to go with that, because we wasn't, with our original spindle, we wasn't going to drop knot or dust. Where with this one, once we're able to shoulder out here, then it will become wide enough. But are we going to drill through before that? I don't know.
That's a very good possibility. My original thoughts was to just kind of help lean it a little bit.
Okay.
That way you're drilling down towards the notch a little bit more to get you closer to it.
So
Okay.
if we used that other spindle,
Then we would be back to a better spindle, a harder spindle.
Yep. Because I agree with you, Travis. The notch is totally not in there far enough.
The only issue is with it like that, it's going to want to probably kick out.
Sure.
You just have to.
But
But what if you drill it sideways like this?
Yeah,
rather
I mean,
than-
you can do that, sure.
It might. Is that your horse one there?
Well, it's our piece of junk welcome mat thing.
It's one of those things where it's very apparent that knives make things way easier.
Absolutely.
You want to try it with the other spindle like that real quick? Have
Yeah,
him hold that?
absolutely.
Okay, and then
Absolutely.
I'll be over here and I'll hold the
Let's do
bearing
it.
block and you can bow or whatever.
Let's do it.
Is that your bearing block?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Let's do it. Grab that
Another
spindle.
Because even with that other spindle, yeah, I mean, the notch still isn't far enough in there. And the problem is we didn't want to spend another 30, 40 minutes flaking off another piece of flit and then just hosing around getting it. You know, we're being a little lazy, kind of.
Well,
After 6 hours.
6 hours. This is going to be interesting.
You want me to hold this other end of this?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, have you got that hardboard nice and tight?
I feel like it, but we'll see here in just a minute.
Do we need to angle it a little bit like this then?
Sure can.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Sorry, man.
Look at you getting some dust in here.
Yeah, it was smoking.
Come on, old man.
Oh, dude, this is like Chinese water torture or something. All right. Nope.
No.
That was a good idea though.
It started to drill over.
See, and exactly what I was saying with needing so much downward force on that cedar.
Uh-huh. I started to give some good downward force on it, and then the string started slipping.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That, I think if he's kept working on it, I think that would have worked. Eventually.
If we
It
were
would have
doing
been a
that
pain in
from...
the butt. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You'd have had to, now you have to tighten the string. You got to get everything all figured out again. You got to save all this dust. Look at what color that dust is.
Uh-huh.
That's perfect.
Okay, well, let's do this. If you will adjust this string right quick, maybe put something up to save our dust, I'll go back down and I'll do a little bit of sanding on that spindle. Get it ready to go for, another try.
Okay.
Want to do it?
You tell me where you want
That
me.
looks about centered to the part.
Okay, I'll try to hold on to it right here.
You want me to hold this
Yep.
side?
Yep.
This feels so weird. I think it's tilting this a little bit too much.
Oh, I think that. How did you brace this thing? Because it feels like it's,
I had it braced up higher at the moment I thought. I don't remember. Tucked it into my side. I want to say.
Here, let me scoot it over a little bit. Hold on, Larry.
Hold on, we got all the dust here.
Okay.
So right here, Travis?
Yeah, I think so. Gosh, it's just getting started.
Damn it.
You know me, I'm going to jerk it right out of the block. It's going to happen.
Ah, it split out on us.
Just that one side. What's going on here? Why is it so...
Doesn't want to come back yet. Feels like I'm gonna bust it. That's not happening. Just gotta get straight. It's not happening. Just want to grab too much. It's too deep.
It's a good trick. I've never seen that one before.
This will make it super tight. It might be too big a stick. Sometimes you can put this in here first, actually. Get it in there, put the other stick in.
Want me to hold this?
Yeah, sometimes you can do this. Doesn't always do.
Here,
It's such a
what
tight.
if I put it down here? Or does that matter?
I don't know.
Got a piece of green wood.
Need something strong. Is that green?
I don't know. I can't.
Or it's too green. Probably should have just left it like I had it. Too aggressive sometimes. If you can get this tension just right, if you put one of these in here, you can take and just turn it over and over, and that'll tighten that thing
sure,
up.
like a top.
If you're going like halfway through it, then you can turn it again for just an extra tension.
Sure.
That's I've never seen that
No,
trick
me
before.
neither.
I came up with it. I don't know anybody else. I really don't know anybody else that's something else I came up with.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I know. Nobody's ever showed it to me.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you were just being
No, I'm serious.
sarcastic.
Why would I?
Why would you be sarcastic? I don't know.
I'm always sarcastic.
I know.
Man, I don't know.
What's the scoop there, big dog? There, you got it? Was it?
We can try it.
You want to wedge a big stick in there?
Might work.
Like a big, like, yeah, something like that. Good.
Let's try it. I had to look at that again and see if we got it right in the right direction.
No, you want it basically like, whoops, like this,
Yeah, I
right?
think you can put that stick on the ground and
It
force
is.
it in there.
It is kind of on the. It is on the ground.
You got that. I'll just focus on this so we can. It seems really sticky up to the block at the top, you know?
Well, should we put something green or like something in it?
Might be a good idea.
All right. Well, hold. You keep the spindle. Got it?
Got it.
Braced.
Get it started. That's so much better. Oh gosh.
She's still smoking.
I think we got it.
No, I think it's just if we had enough dust in there, I think we would have got it. Come on, you.
Come on, baby.
Oh,
Come on, baby.
come on.
Get her, donk.
Come on, Travis.
I'm having a hard time holding her now, boys.
All right, let's hold up.
We were drilling into the
I know we were.
into our.
Oh,
We drilled through it.
oh well.
This is why
You know what?
shelters.
Let's be honest. Failures happen. This is a failure. This is exactly why we do these videos.
Yep.
Because when you see this done in reality TV, it's a 30-second clip. We have been down here going on 6.5 hours probably now.
At least.
6.5 hours. And that's the closest we've got.
Yep.
Now we could keep going
Oh yeah.
and maybe we would get it.
Yep. But maybe not.
But maybe not. But at some time, you've got to wonder, when do you lose the ambition?
Yep.
When do you tell yourself, look, I'm putting forth way more effort or losing way more calories than
Calories. Exactly.
what? You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, one final test I want to do with that. I want to do a lighter test on it. Group that all that
Just to
together,
see.
if you wouldn't mind, and then.
Now, what was you saying a second ago about shelter?
Shelter. This is why I think shelter is so important. Because let's just face it, if it were to rain, if you had your shelter already done, you really wouldn't have to worry about this too much.
Right.
Especially if you had a nice bed of debris
Yep.
to cover yourself with and
Right.
basically hibernate in.
Now, in case anyone watching doesn't know, Travis has a YouTube channel called Survive Without. Travis, most of you guys know that Travis and I, have been friends for a good long while now. Travis just got back last year from 45 days with, well, you can tell him.
40 days. It's a 40-day class with Sigma 3's Survival School's instructor course, where you sleep in a debris shelter or bed for the entire course. Learned a lot from it. I really did.
Yeah.
The experience alone was worth it. Just we normally don't get 40 days straight to sit out, spend
Right,
outside.
for sure.
It'll change you no matter what.
Well, I mean, I've been watching a lot of changes in the way you think.
Yeah.
Like what the trick that you just showed on that bow drill. That was awesome.
And it's not necessarily something that you learned from them, but you have been learning so much stuff and diving so much into this that it helps you with your other tasks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's my theory anyway. You've gotten so much training from that class, so now your knowledge is just accelerating, and you can try new things that work for you, that thinking outside the box and stuff. I don't know, that's my take on it.
Exactly.
I really liked your videos that you put out. I like all your videos, but I like those Sigma 3 videos were really, really interesting.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I want to get out sometime with you where we have a good like a full several days, so we can put together a good debris shelter.
Yeah, I want to do an all-natural weekend. Basically nothing.
Yeah.
You just let me know when you're ready. We'll do
I'm
it.
ready right now. Let's do it.
But anyway, hold on, Larry.
All right.
It's with that experience that we were just talking about. I don't know about Larry, but I think it'd be cool if next season you would join us with this Clothed and Confident thing.
That'd be fun.
That'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
I'd be interested in seeing your take on the things that you do. Like I think Justin's kind of used to some of the ways I do things now. I'm kind of used to the way some of the things that Justin does. And within 10 minutes, you showed us 3 things.
Exactly.
Probably. I mean,
Exactly.
or more.
Oh, for
And,
sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be huge.
Well, it's easy to look at somebody from the outside. I think sometimes when you're in it and doing it, somebody comes by, they can see it a different light. Even if I was with just him, you would easily to be able to come by and give some ideas on it.
Because I know that when we first started the Clothed and Confident, I wanted you to be a part of it at that moment, but you were so busy with building your house that it just wasn't practical. But
Now you got some free time. Now you
Even
can come play.
kayaking, man.
Now you can come play.
now we all get to play.
That's right.
And two people's approaches on things are good. 3 is better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we almost had it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, within 10 minutes.
If let's just say that the 3 of us was down here for 5.5, 6 hours, 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
I think we could have got a lot accomplished.
Right.
And maybe we could have gotten it. And maybe that might be season 3, episode 1.
Return.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bow drill out the landscape.
That's right.